everyone, Derek Johnson with Tatango.com. I'm here at Innovista Law, the home of the TCPA Defense Force. I'm sitting with Joe Bowser, a TCPA attorney, so Telephone Consumer Protection Act. And we're talking about how the TCPA impacts text message marketing. One of the questions we get asked here at Tatango a lot is, what does consent is not a condition of purchase mean? Because if you opt into a text messaging campaign and the brand is doing it correctly, you're going to see on that terms and conditions that it's going to say consent is not a condition of purchase. But what does that actually mean? So Joe, let's kick it off. What does this mean, not a condition of purchase?
Right, so we've talked about what a written agreement under the TCPA requires, right?
Yep.
One of those elements is this the stipulation or disclaimer that consent is not a condition of purchase. And what that really is telling the consumer is, I don't have to agree to give my phone number and consent to be sent text messages via an auto dialer if I want to buy this camera, this teddy bear, this Apple, whatever it is. So the consumer needs to know that I can withhold my consent to get marketing messages and still complete this transaction. It's that simple.
Okay.
It's letting them know, hold on now, if you want to finish the transaction for the teddy bear, you can go ahead.
It's not required.
You don't have to do this.
Because I think back in the day, I do remember like retailers, I'm not going to name names here, but you would try to purchase something and they'd be like, oh, we need your phone number to complete the purchase. Is that kind of where this is coming from, or protecting consumers that just don't want to give up their phone number to just make a purchase?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
So there are all kinds of things in form agreements that we sign every day. Our agreements with our wireless carriers, right? We probably, if we went through it line by line, we probably wouldn't agree to many of those.
Yeah.
But Congress and the FCC wanted to give consumers extra protection around text messages and auto-dialed calls, particularly those that market a particular good or service.
Yep.
And they wanted consumers to know that you don't have to accept these messages or calls if you don't want to, and you can still engage in commerce.
Interesting. And what happens if, let's say, the brand doesn't disclose that to a consumer? Is it just increasing the risk of a TCPA violation?
You should assume that a plaintiff's attorney on a TCPA case will argue that written agreement was not valid under the TCPA.
Okay.
So
because it misses that.
It misses a required element.
Wow. Okay.
So if you're missing one piece of it, you're either in for all of it or not.
Yeah.
And so if you're missing that consent is not a condition of purchase language, the TCPA plaintiff's attorney will say that agreement doesn't mean anything.
It didn't work under the TCPA.
Exactly. So even though you got the first 5 elements, if you're missing the 6th, they'll say that agreement doesn't matter, it doesn't comply with the TCPA regulations, and I didn't give you consent.
Wow. So even if you did give consent, it wasn't the right consent, that's where you can get in trouble.
Exactly.
And what are the penalties for violating the Telephone Consumer Protection Act? Let's say you don't get the right consent, you don't do this correctly. What is a brand looking at?
The exposure can be tremendous.
Okay.
So under the TCPA, a negligent violation of the TCPA is $500 per call or message. And then if they can show that you willfully violated the TCPA, and that's probably not the case if you just bungled your disclosure language, the damages there are $1,500 a message or call.
And that's per text message to each individual person.
Exactly. So and that's just a lawsuit. So the FTC, the FCC can come after you, and they have their own statutory penalties and fines that can run up to $20,000 a message.
Jeez. Okay, so I think the real takeaway here is make sure that in your terms and conditions, when you opt into a text messaging campaign, make sure consent is not a condition of purchase. And essentially that means that you don't have to give up your phone number just to make a purchase.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Man, that's crazy. So again, I think TCPA compliance is super important, not only from a consumer perspective, just to make consumers feel okay and have a good experience with their text messaging campaign, but also from a penalties perspective, $500 to $1,500 per text message can be very, very expensive. So consent is not a condition of purchase. Hopefully we've explained what that means and what it means when you don't include that in your text message marketing terms in agreement that you opt into. Again, my name is Derek Johnson with Tatango.com. I'm sitting with Joe Bowser from TCPA Defense Force at Innovista Law. Thanks for watching our video today. If you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up on YouTube. If you want to see more of these types of videos, be sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have comments or questions, please leave a comment or question in the comment section below.